Hi, welcome to Ray at the Movies, and today we are going to do the 4K review of Alligator from Scream Factory. This is a 3-disc set. That the first disc is, of course, the 4K. The second disc is the Blu-ray with the bonus features, and the third disc is the TV cut that is 98 minutes long. And here's the cover. I love the cover. It's a great cover of the movie, but I also like the original. And of course, here's the back of it. And then of course, the slipcover, it's a little bit different. You can see, you see it? Okay. Now, I really love this film. It's one of my favorite films from the 80s. And I first watched this on USA Up All Night. That's how I came to learn about this movie. And of course, as long as other movies like Critters, Gremlins. No, cut that. Gremlins wasn't on USA Up All Night. But they did have Ghoulies, Critters, Munchies, a movie called Munchies. You get my drift. That's how I came across a lot of these cheesy 80 films, 90 films, 70 films, was through there. And eventually I would go and rent this movie on VHS when I was old enough to be able to rent them, and fell in love with it even more. And then of course I had it on DVD. Now there are a couple things that went over. There was an interview with somebody, I don't remember, but there was an auto commentary which does port over, by the way. And how does this movie rate? On 4K, it's fantastic. Never looked better. They really did a good job of cleaning it up. And the bonus features are great. I will say that when I did the 4K collection, that this was actually accidentally left out. I had told you that I thought I had the Gladiator Steelbook in 4K. I did have it. It was just misplaced. And when I was rearranging my closet that has my movies in it, I came across it and found it. And then I remembered after I did the video and already edited and posted it that I remember, oh yeah, I had this in 4K. So I rewatched it without the auto commentary. But I'm going to say I love the cinematography in this movie. It's a very fun and fast-paced movie. It doesn't drag at all, by the way. It's funny, has humor, has some cool scenes with the alligator. Now, it's an animatronic. I will give go into the trivia about that a little bit. But I like their scenes. I like where they looking for the alligator in the sewer. They're going through the tunnel in the sewer, and you can see them lit very well in when they're looking for it. That's one of my favorite scenes too, is when they're looking for the alligator. There's a lot of suspense and tension trying to see if they're going to find it and survive. And then there's a scene where two of the characters are looking on a map, and right behind them you can see the alligator. And how it's done is a little light goes by, and you see the alligator, and the light goes by again, and the alligator is gone. So I'm going to say that if you're a fan of the Alligator movie, pick this up. It is the best it's ever looked, and probably the best it's ever going to look. It looks fantastic. Also, when I bought this, I bought Alligator 2, The Mutation. And I will go into what I thought about this film. I'm going to watch it. There's not much to it, but I'm going to go ahead and go into the movie. And first of all, the cast does a great job. It is very well written. You end up caring for the characters that you're supposed to care for, and and hate the characters you're not supposed to like. So the kills are great. The animatronic alligator looks real, looks great. They did a great job. I will straight out say that is the one thing that's lacking in this. The special effects is terrible in this. I got to rewatch it to see how bad it was. But I'm going to go ahead and go into this stuff. So forgive me for being long. I'm going to go like I always do. I'm going to go. This movie was released November 14th, 1980. So let's go in with the cast. Let's go with one of my favorite actors, Robert Forster. He was in The Black Hole, The Delta Force, Peacemaker. This is a movie that came out in 1990, directed by Kevin Tindley. and he also was in Lucky Number 11. Robin Riker was Don't Look Under the Bed, The Stoneman, The Bold and the Beautiful, the soap, all 48, only 48 episodes of that. She was also in the Gregory Hines Show. Now we have Michael V. Gazzo, who was in The Godfather Part 2, Cannonball Run 2, Fear City, Last Action Hero. Then we now have Sidney Lassick, who is in The Unseen, History of the World Part 1, Silent Madness, Curse 2, The Bite. Jack Carter from The Octagon, History of the World Part 1, Arena, Play It to the Bone. Henry Silva, Ocean's 11, the original, Cannonball Run 2, Code of Silence, Dick Tracy. Royce D. Applegate, History of the World Part 1, Slash, Sequest, the show, and Wild Card. Then it is directed by Louis Tanique, who might be no stranger for directing other classic movies such as Cujo, Cat's Eye, The Jewel of the Nile, Navy SEALs. Screenplay by John Stiles, who did the screenplay for Piranha, The Howlin', The Spiderwick Chronicles, Men of War. Story by John Stiles, who did the story for Battle Beyond the Stars, Wild Thing. Then there's Frank Ray Perel, who did the only story credit he gets is for The Doberman Gang and Still Big, Still Little. Music by Craig Huxley, who did Rhodey, Schizoid, Program to Kill, Knots Landing series. Trivia. Ramon, the often malfunctioning animatronic gator used in the film, was later donated to the Florida Gators of the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, as a team mascot. Ramon made several appearances before games and during halftime. Robert Forrester improved the jokes in regard to his receding hairline, which a delighted John Stiles wrote into the script during shooting for the other characters. Bryan Cranston, now if you don't know who he is, he was from Breaking Bad. Malcolm in the Middle, he played the dad. He worked on the film as a production assistant for the special effects department. John Stiles read Frank Ray Perel's script for the film once and then totally scrapped it. Stiles said it was set in Milwaukee and explained that the alligator grew gigantic because of beer from a brewery going into the sewers. I was so glad he scrapped that. That would have sucked. The giant gator's first victim in the film is a sewer worker named Edward Norton. This is a homage to The Honeymooners, in which one of the four main characters is a sewer worker named Ed Norton. According to director Louis Tanique, the film was supposed to be scored by James Horner, who actually wrote a full score for it. However, due to a strike, he could not record his score, so he was replaced by another composer. The film was inspired by another one, Jaws, and like that film, the mechanical villain often malfunctioned, much like Steven Spielberg had to on Jaws. Director Louis Tanique either shot around that giant alligator to build suspense or shoot a normal sized alligator on a miniature set, which is painfully obvious in some shots. It is actually, but it's not that bad. On the film's DVD commentary, Robert Forrester states that he was friends with painter Ramon Saginato, and he suggested they include a painting of his on the wall in his character's house. John Stiles wrote both Alligator and Piranha, two movies inspired by Jaws. It's said that one of the two Steven Spielberg preferred and actually really enjoyed this movie. The basic premise of this film was inspired by a popular urban legend from the 60s when a mail order company which advertised in comic books sold thousands of baby alligators to kids whose parents often flushed them down the family toilet. After Robert Forster's death, Breaking Bad star Robin Cranston tweeted that he and Foster, who also worked on Breaking Bad, first met on the set of this film where Cranston was a PA. See other trivia, which I already went over. Joe Dante was offered the job of director for the film, but turned it down, probably due to the fact that he had already made a Jaws-type movie with a script by John Stiles, that being Piranha. Robert Forster was recovering from a case of spinal meningitis when principal filming began. Okay, now to go into the bonus features. Disc 1, 4K UHD theatrical version. New 4K scan from the original camera negative. Auto commentary with the director Louis Tanique and actor Robert Forster. Disc 2, Blu-ray theatrical version. New 4K scan from the original camera negative. New Everybody in the Pool, an interview with actress Robin Riker. New Wild in the Streets, an interview with director Louis Tanique. New It Walks Among Us, an interview with screenwriter John Stiles. New Luck of the Gator, an interview with special makeup effects artist Robert Short. New Gator Guts, the Great River and Bob, an interview with production assistant, now famous actor, director, producer Bryan Cranston. Auto commentary with director Louis Tanique and actor Robert Forster. Alligator author, an interview with the screenwriter John Stiles. Additional scenes from the TV version, teaser trailer, new 2K scan, theatrical trailer, new 2K scan, trailers from Hell, filmmaker Corinne Charisma, Jennifer's Body on Alligator. TV spot, new 2K scan, Alligator game television commercial, new newspaper ad, still gallery by Drive-In Asylum, still gallery, movie stills, movie posters, lobby cards, and behind the scenes photos. Disc 3, television version, the extended version in HD for the first time, new 4K scan from the original camera negative with additional footage scanned whatever. I can't even pronounce it. Story: Ramon the alligator is flushed down the toilet as a baby and grows into the gargantuan monster by eating the corpses of laboratory animals that have undergone dubious hormone experiments, thus providing all the ecological and social subtext that one could possibly wish for, even if one doesn't normally go for films about giant alligators eating people left and right and center, which is the inevitable and tragic result of Ramon's decision that the outside world looks rather more interesting than the sewers. A pet baby alligator is flushed down the toilet and survives in the city sewers. 12 years later, it grows into an enormous size thanks to a diet of discarded laboratory dogs injected with growth hormones. Now humans have entered the menu. Taglines: beneath those manholes, a man-eater is waiting. He's up for the sewers, and nobody's safe. At first, no one believed, but now no one will ever forget. It lives 50 feet beneath the city. It's 36 feet long. It weighs 2,000 pounds, and it's about to break out. It lives 50 feet beneath the streets. It weighs over 2,000 pounds. It's killed 5 people already, and it's about to break out. It's 36 feet long, weighs 2,000 pounds, lives 50 feet below the city. Nobody knows it's down there except the people it eats. This was released on 4K Blu-ray from Screen Factory on February 22nd, 2022. So, like I said, if you're a fan of the film, you're going to really enjoy this transfer. They really did a good job, and I'm grateful for Screen Factory. Now, I didn't actually think this movie was ever going to get a proper release. I thought it was just going to get, thrown out there as a bare bones Blu-ray. Never thought this would actually get a 4K release. So, like I said, if you're a big fan of this movie, check out and buy the 4K release. You will not be disappointed. The sound is fantastic. Like I said, the picture quality is great for a 4K transfer. And just to let you know, if you don't want to watch the TV cut on the third disc, they have on the second disc the cut scenes, the added scenes from the television cut. So you don't have to sit. Now that will be though in widescreen, not in full screen. So it's not going to look as good as the widescreen one. But if you don't want to sit through the movie again, which I don't know why you wouldn't, I'm going to watch it again. I didn't have a chance to watch it, but I wanted to make sure I get this review out. I've been wanting to do this since it came out in 2022 when I bought it. But just never got around to it. Now I want to say before I end, I want to be doing some things a little different. Planning in Halloween, during the Halloween season, the 31 days of Halloween, in October, where you can watch horror movies all the way up to after Halloween, up to Halloween. I mean, I'm wanting to do the 31 days of Halloween, where I upload maybe 2 or 3 movies or anything, something doing with Halloween related. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I'm still thinking about it. I think it's a crazy idea, and if it works, hey, cool. I might also save that for movies that nobody's really heard of. Like there's the 1988 movie Ghost Town. Then there's another movie called Scared Stiff, and another movie called The Slayer. Nobody's hardly heard of these movies. They're very rare. And there's another movie called The Prey. So with that, I'm going to be out of here. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. As of right now, this video was filmed on my vacation. So I'll have it hopefully cut and edited and ready to be seen on Sunday. And I will try to get to Alligator 2, The Mutation. I don't know if I am, because it's not on my priority list. Now, if people, a lot of people comment and say they want to see me review this movie or talk about this movie, then I will. So with that, you have a good rest of your day. God bless.